I said, you love your daughters. They've kind of shut you out. I said, but God's going to heal that relationship. I said, because you love the Lord. I said, and your next movie will be a hit. Can I pray with you? And he said, yeah. Gave me his hands, I prayed with him. Right after that, he made that baseball movie. Right after that. So, that was getting in the center of God's will. I didn't say, you know, I live in Moreno Valley. You know how far Universal Studios is? You know, it's a Friday night. You know the traffic. No. I jumped in that car and said, come on, let's go, right? And the kids, I told them after the Royal Jazz, I said, oh my God, right? Well, think about it. When we're in tune with Him, we're not going to miss God. We're not going to be full of voids. We're not going to feel empty. We're not going to always be looking for an event to make us happy. I could be happy at my house doing nothing because you're at peace, right? Well, this is what he's saying today. I am the way. Get in my way. All right, go to John chapter 5. I'm excited about this month and what God is doing for the next 10 years. Amen. There is so much going on and we want to be in the center of it. Amen? Amen. John chapter 5. We're going to do verses 1 through 9. This is so powerful. Oh, this is the revelation that God gave me. Verse 1 says, then Jesus returned to Jerusalem to observe one of the Jewish holy days. Inside the city near the sheep gate, there was a pool called, in the Aramaic, the house of the living kindness. And this pool is surrounded by 5 covered porches. Hundreds of sick people were lying there on the porches, paralyzed, blind, and crippled, all of them waiting for their healing. For the angel of God would periodically descend into the pool to stir the waters, and the first one who stepped into the pool after the waters stirred would instantly be healed. Now there was a man who had been disabled for 38 years, lying among the multitudes of the sick. When Jesus saw him lying there, he knew that the man had been crippled for a long time. So Jesus said to him, do you really long to be healed? How long had he been sick? And he had been going there for 38 years. Somebody, he was crippled, so somebody had to drop him off and lay him there, right? And Jesus shows up this day, right? He's coming, shows up, and he looks over at him. He doesn't look over at any of the other people that are laying by the pool, and he says to him, hey, you really want to be healed? Like, hey, do you really want to be married? You can't stay still. I can be married. You got to qualify, right? Come on. Yeah. Well, we're saying we want certain things, but there's requirements, and you have to qualify. So, what are you doing to qualify? What path are you in? What direction are you going, right? So he points him out. Think about it. He's been laying there 38 years, and he says, do you really want to be healed, right? Then the next verse says, the sick man answered, sir, there's no way I can get healed, for I have no one who will lower me into the water when the angel comes. What does he say? There's no way I can get healed. So why have you been coming? Think about that. Oxymoron, right? He's been coming 38 years. He asks him, do you want to be healed? And then he answers, there's no way I can get healed. Okay, end of the story, gotta go. That's what I would have said. For I have no one to lower me into the water when the angel comes. Do you really want to be married? I'll never be married because nobody will marry me. Because you're waiting like he was. There's no one to lower me. There's no one to marry me. We should have candidates lined up. Saying, God, who is the one? Or is it really for me? Maybe that's over. Maybe I got to travel all over the world by myself. Come on, whatever you want, what I want them to, right? All right. So he says, there's no way I can get healed. Then the next verse, as soon as I try to crawl to the edge of the pool, someone else jumps ahead of me, right? Already 2 times he's blamed other people. That sound like the church?
Yeah.
Why are you single? Well, because no one asked me out. Why are you late? Traffic. No, leave earlier. Well, why this? Oh, because right when I was leaving, drama. Think about it. I think of when I was a young mother and I had to take all these kids to school, and we're talking from elementary to junior high to high school, 3 schools, right, that morning. When the bus was leaving, it was leaving. Gotta go. We couldn't wait on, my hair's not blow dry. Oh, I couldn't find my other shoe. Grab anything, we're out of here, right? We had to go, right? So eventually, all the kids knew to be downstairs waiting by the car. Well, years of going in the car taught them to be waiting on time. No more excuses, right? Then Jesus said to him, stand up, pick up your sleeping mat, and you will walk. Immediately he stood up, he was healed. So he rolled up his mat, walked away. Now this miracle took place on a Jewish Sabbath, which meant it took place on a Sunday. But I want you to see something that's powerful. Number one, there's a lot of people there. The guy that has been there 38 years, he points him out. The guy gives him 2 excuses. No one to push me in, and every time I get near the edge, there's no one to roll me in. So now he's blamed people twice, right? He was trying to get into the pool because the pool brought what? Healing. I don't know about you, but this is deep, because God gave me this last night. He said he was trying to get into the pool because the pool was designed to bring healing to people when the angel went in and stirred up the waters, right? He said, but what people don't understand, the healing was not in the pool, the healing was in Jesus. It was in him. So he doesn't even use the pool. He doesn't throw him in the pool. He could have just said, hey, here, let me pick you up and dump you in. He was showing him that his perspective was off. Your perspective is off. You're thinking, this will make me happy. You're still miserable. We could take you to Disneyland. The happiest place in the world. And somebody will make a comment to you. Boom, attitude, ugly face. I'm mad. I'm gonna ruin my whole Disneyland trip because you said something. I don't care what anybody says. If you can't handle words, you're not fit for the kingdom. What did he tell us? What did he tell us? In the world, there will be what? Tribulation, persecution, offense. People talk about us. People hate us. People make comments. When people say to me, you color your hair, I'm like, I'm offended. I'm going to go back dark. No, yeah, I did it myself. Right? Because I'm happy. But it's my head. Nobody else is wearing it. Sure, I feel like it. It's my head. I remember when I did my hair this color when my kids were little. My kids thought I was a werewolf. I remember myself going, I think she's a werewolf. It was a little big topic in my home at that time. Now they're like, oh, it looks amazing. But when they were kids, they're like, you think mom's a werewolf? Her nails are long and her hair is white in the morning. Well, they were children. Right, that's what they thought. Well, guess what? We're not children anymore. We're not in a sandbox. We gotta grow up, you guys. It's time to move on. Everybody's gonna talk about you till the day you die. That's just life. But he's telling you, if you're in the center of my will, you won't even know they are. You won't even know. I mean, when I left this last job, I'm gonna lie to you, I was shocked who were the ones that came against me. It wasn't the heathen, it was all the believers. The believers. All the believers. It was a church that was jealous, that was envious. They were mad. They were mad because of the type of money I was making. I never told them what I made. They assumed. They were mad because, look how old she is. They were mad because I still work heels. I said, oh my Lord, if our whole life is being mad at people because they got high heels on, boy, you have no life. Think about it. How could you even think about heels? That's silly. But this is what God was trying to tell him. You're worried about the people that are not throwing you in. You're mad about because you get close and somebody walks over you. I would have said, look, lay me halfway in. And the mom comes, they're going to throw me in. I'm serious. Yeah, when the water gets stirred up, boom, I'm the first one in. But he didn't think like that. He was thinking of blaming everybody else. You know how a lot of you say, I should be further along. You're right, you should. But who are you going to blame? Yourself. It doesn't matter how we were raised. It doesn't matter where we grew up. It doesn't matter anything except, am I in the center of God's will? You don't have to you don't have to have a degree. You just have to be full of wisdom from on high. Not the worldly wisdom. We try to sound smart. We just sound dumb. People are talking, you want to get in the conversation. You don't even know what they're saying because you want to be important. A smart person looks important. Well, they don't say nothing and just nod their head. You don't know how many meetings I used to attend when I didn't know anything about technology and just take notes and just smile. Everybody thought, man, she's like a genius. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know how to turn on the computer. Yeah, they really thought I was like amazing, right? I remember getting my first job and I was like sitting in front of my computer going, how do you turn it on? And then once it's on, what do you do? They said, just turn it on, Rebekah, log in. What does log in mean? I didn't know anything. And then somebody said, oh, you've never used a computer. Come on. Well, they were very kind. They didn't make fun of me. I took little notes. Log in. Put in password. Right? Come on, step by step. So many notes for just my morning session. Then I learned, okay, boom, put in your password. Log in. Okay, move the mouse. What is a mouse? We haven't heard that term. Where is the mouse on the... What's the keyboard? Right? But I had to ask. I did not say, oh, I know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that means when they said log in. Well, nobody had taught me. But I asked a lot of questions. The only dumb question is the one you do not ask. Because you want to act like you know. And two, when we're being instructed, we have to be all ears, not, yeah, I got it. Where do you got it? Why don't you say, hey, hold on, let me write it down. But no, okay, yeah. That's what God is saying. He's giving us instruction, he's giving us direction. I want to know. I want to be in the center of his will. Yes. He was telling them, yeah, I know they told you the healing was in the pool, but I've showed up. I know they told you that company pays a lot of money, but I've showed up. I'm not looking for jobs that are prestigious. I'm not looking to work for CBN. I'm not looking to work for, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, Lord, wherever you want to put me, I want to be in the center of your will. Because wherever he puts me, I will succeed. And I will prosper. And I will have favor, not because I'm butting up with everybody. Not because I'm full of flattery. Not because I'm telling everybody how amazing they look when you know they don't look amazing. Come on. No, that's sin to flatter. He says it in the Word. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Don't lie about a compliment. You can't tell somebody I love your hair and then I don't hair. Yeah. I mean, look what God is saying. So we were all looking to the pool for healing. But he shows up and he says, I'm the way. This world system is looking to the pool. But who's looking to me? Who's looking to me? Really? mean, I had to write this down. Go to Acts chapter 3. Look how powerful this is. He's speaking because he wants to move us in a different direction. And before this year is out, we will accomplish many things because we will be in the center of his will. Amen?
Amen.
And Acts chapter 3, looking at verse 1 through 9. This is so powerful. One afternoon, Peter and John went to the temple for the 3 o'clock prayer. As they came to the entrance called the gate, the beautiful gate, they were captured by the sight of a man crippled from birth, being carried and placed at the center of the temple. He was often brought there to beg for money for those going into worship. What was he brought there for? To beg for money, right? For the people going into the church. When he, the crippled man, noticed Peter and John coming to the temple, he begged them for what? Money. Peter and John, looking straight into the eyes of the crippled man, said, "Look at us." Expecting a gift, he readily gave them his attention. In other words, when Peter talked to him, he didn't really pay attention. It said right here. He didn't give him any attention. Then Peter said, "I don't have money, but I'll give you this. By the power of the name of the Lord Jesus Christ of Nazareth, stand up and walk." Peter held out his hand to the crippled man. As he pulled the man to his feet, suddenly power surged into his crippled feet and ankles. The man jumped up, stood there for a moment stunned, and then began to walk around. And he went to the temple courts with Peter and John, and he leaped for joy, shouted praises to God. When all the people saw him jumping up and down and heard him glorify God, they realized it was the crippled beggar they had passed by the front of the gate. Beautiful astonishment swept over the crowd, for they were amazed over what had happened to him. Come on, this is powerful, amen?
Amen.
Come on. I already showed you. He was there for years because he was crippled from birth, and every time people went into the temple, so we're saying Sunday service, midweek service, he would sit there and ask for what? Money. All right, this is deep, you guys. I'm so in awe of the move of God. He was asking for money. This is what the Lord told me last night. Though he needed money, he thought, but in reality, he needed legs. He didn't need money. He needed legs. But every day he asked for what?
Money.
He never sat there and said, "I need to be healed. I need to be made whole." Because he did not recognize that his problem was his legs, not money. Your problem is not money. Your problem is you're not educated, and you need to take a class on how to manage your money. You don't get your money and spend it all. You got to put some aside. Listen to what he's saying. Those are your prayers. Listen, and I'll be very honest with you. The thing that I hated growing up was being talked about. You don't know how many people I beat up in high school. Talked about me, I just walked up to them, boom, didn't even let them know it was coming. Slug them in the face. Throw a soda at somebody. I hated being talked about. So you know what the devil did? My 9th grade year, rumors went around the school that were not true. And everybody jumped in on it. It was so bad because I was so tormented by what was being said that was a lie, that I didn't graduate on stage. Because I didn't want to be around everybody that was talking about me. I'll get them back. Well, who suffered, them or me? I did. I didn't go on stage because I don't want to walk by them because they were talking about me. And it wasn't true. Well, if it wasn't true, Rebekah, you should have walked because it wasn't true. But they got to me. And I made a decision. after this. I don't care what people say. I don't care what they think. They're not going to rob me of what is mine. This is what God is saying. When you're in the center of His will,